My name is Ja, and this is Za. Today I'm going to be telling my pregnancy story. Before I start, I just want to say that I'm not encouraging teen pregnancy, but I'm just here to tell my story. So, I forgot what day I found out I was pregnant. It was one day I felt really sick, so I used to live on 13th Avenue, and I walked to the store. It was like a 10-minute walk. I walked to the store and I got $2 pregnancy tests. The pregnancy tests, they weren't in the aisles. They were like behind the counter. So I go up to the man and I'm like, can I get 2 pregnancy tests? And he looks at me for like 2 seconds and he's like, yeah, they're $1. So then I gave him the $2 and then I got the pregnancy test. After I got the test, I walked back to the house. It was like a 5-10 minute walk. I walked back to the house and I went in my room and I locked the door and I took the test. Then I waited and I was on the phone. I was so scared, so then I waited for the test results and then they came back positive. So then I told my sister, I was like, the tests are positive. And she's like, okay, tell. So then I told my boyfriend, I called him on the phone and I told him that the tests were positive. And then he's like, oh, tell my mom. So then I sent his mom a picture of the pregnancy test and she's like, what's that? And I'm like, a pregnancy test. She was like, oh my gosh, are they positive? And I'm like, yes. So then we were texting about it and just texting. She was asking what I wanted to do and etc. So then after that day, they told their whole family and everything that I was pregnant, that like we were expecting. And then I told like my friends. I told my friend, her name was Destiny. I told her at school. And then I told my friend, her name Shasha, my sister. I told her. And then like it was a secret for a very long time. It was a big secret. 2 months later, I was on the phone with my grandma. I was like, Grandma, I feel sick. I'm going to the doctors. I said, I don't feel good. And she was like, what's wrong? I was like, I don't know. Because every day after school, I used to go to take care of her because she had cancer. So I used to go care for her. So I had to tell her that I wasn't coming today because I had to go to the doctors. So then she was like, what's wrong? I was like, Grandma, I don't know. I really don't feel good. And right then and there, she knew something was wrong. So she's like, okay, call me when you get there. So I'm like, okay, Grandma, I'm here. And she's like, Zay there? And I knew immediately when she asked, is Zay there? I knew that she knew. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to take a test right now. And then she was like, okay. And then after I took the test there, I called her and I just started crying. And she thought, I guess then she thought that I was doing something to like get rid of the baby. So she automatically thought that I wasn't pregnant no more. So then a couple months later, I started to get like a little bigger, like my stomach started to get bigger. Then my grandma's on the phone with my dad and she's like, Jamaria getting big, like her stomach is big. You pregnant? But she was just playing. But I got offended because nobody knew that I was pregnant and I didn't want people to know yet. So I got really mad. So then like 3 months from then, my grandma knew. I told my dad already because he lives in the Bahamas. So I wasn't that scared to tell him. So I told my dad already and then I had to tell my mom. So the past few weeks, I don't know why, but she was trying to get us to go to the doctor so I could get a pap smear. So my grandma's like, Jamaria, I think she already knows because you don't get a pap smear unless you're like not a virgin. So then she's like, just tell her. So then I called my mom on the phone and I'm like, Mom,
yeah, that's it.
I'm pregnant. And she like, how the fuck you pregnant? You're not even having sex. You scared to get a but you can take. So she's just yelling and yelling and yelling. She was like, and who that is? Because I need to speak to. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. So then my whole family is calling me. She told my whole family is calling me, asking me, oh my gosh, how are you pregnant? You're so young. That's so much responsibility. But I just stopped answering everybody calls because I didn't care to hear anyone's opinion. So then now I'm like 6 months. So they were talking about my options, and my mom was like, "Oh, you finna get." My mom and her boyfriend was like, "Oh, you getting an abortion?" I was like, "I'm not getting no abortion. I don't want no abortion." So then my mom was mad at me that I didn't want an abortion. So my whole pregnancy, we were not cool because, well, we were cordial, but we weren't really close because of that. After that, she was like, "Oh, I'm coming to get you from your grandma's house. I don't want you at your no more because they you pregnant because that's where you fucking be, and it happened over there. It ain't happened on my watch." So then she came to get me from my grandpa's house, and she got me. Then they had me there for a few days, and then everybody in the family was talking to me about my options, how it's not a smart idea to have my baby. And in the midst of this, my grandma died. So I had to go to her funeral, and then I had to look at the whole family. Imagine like you're at a funeral, and then the family's just finding out you're pregnant. So everybody's like whispering around at the funeral, like, "Look at Jamaria's stomach, look at her stomach, look at her stomach." So that's how I was at the funeral. And then my mom was super depressed, so I guess she started drinking. And then at the wake, after the funeral, she was arguing with me at my grandma's funeral, like, about me being pregnant. So I just left. Like, I just walked and I left because my grandma's house was right around the corner. So I just walked there and I left. And then, like, after that, like, the whole family knew it. But I didn't want the whole family in my business because I didn't think it was their business to know, you know, because, like, we don't know our whole family business. So why do they have to know ours? So then, yeah, I was super mad at her. I wasn't talking to her or anything. And I did not want to let her meet my boyfriend's family because she's something else. I had a gender reveal. She was super mad at me. She didn't come to my gender reveal. She didn't come to my baby shower. The only people that were at my baby shower was like my baby's father, family, and him, and then my aunts, my auntie best friend. But like she didn't come to anything. And it was like that up until birth. Like, but when I had my baby, then she came around more. Should I talk about something else?
I have a question.
Right.
So, like, what's a piece of advice would you give someone else? Like, someone else that's pregnant, or someone that's having sex?
Okay, my piece of advice for someone that's pregnant is to tell everyone when you're ready. Like, don't let anyone pressure you into telling someone when you're not ready. I feel like you should tell someone when you're ready because it's your body and it's your baby. My piece of advice to people that are having sex is to stay protected always. Always stay protected because it's a lot of things out there. It's HIV, it's AIDS, it's chlamydia, it's gonorrhea, and unprotected sex could lead to any one of those. And it can happen to anybody. Like, don't think because it didn't happen to you, it can't happen to you because it can.
I'm digging that.
Me too. I always thought, like, I'm not going to get pregnant. I could never get pregnant. How did you get pregnant? Like, this girl's 16 and pregnant. Then, boom. I got pregnant, like, you would get pregnant like this.
She sees. She wants you.
Oh, she got lash. You got lash.
Her and her baby look so much alike.
We look alike?
Yeah.
Bye-bye. Zaza. Say bye-bye. Look, Zaza. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
What's Ken Burns? Oh, never mind.